Andrea Beagley and welcome to this month's edition of FEDS Focus Report. Well, a little bit different this month. We've actually gone to another province. We're in the Hawke's Bay at world famous Tikokino. The reason we've come up here today is we've got something really exciting to announce. We have the Marks and Spencer's Farming for the Future winners, and they are from New Zealand. Now, we're really very lucky. There is England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales, and they are the competitors for these two, and I'll just introduce you now. We have Tim Aitken and we have Lucy Robertshawe. Hi to you both and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So what we need to know about these awards, what made you want to enter and what actually is the award?
Well, the entry was suggested to us from the CEO of our First Light company that we're suppliers for, and so we sat down and did an 8-page submission of all that we do on the farm and that all the other extra things that Tim's involved in with deer farming, and we didn't hear much of anything for a long time. We didn't even really know if the entry had been accepted or received. It was all online, and we thought about it once or twice in the next couple of months, and then on Thursday we got this wonderful message that we'd won the international section of the competition. Oh,
that is truly exciting. What happens is Marks and Spencer's put out an international award every year, so it could be Australia, it could be Africa, it could be anywhere. So we're very proud to have New Zealand mentioned.
Yeah, we're the second one. The Moras, Sam and Hannah won it 2 years ago in Central Hawke's Bay as well.
Oh, so that's very good, isn't it? Now, First Light, can you tell me a bit about that?
First Light is a marketing company set up 6-7 years ago, and it was originally set up for Venison, where we have the shareholders of farmers that are also suppliers. So it's a producer group, and currently there's 25 producer group members, and we supply chilled venison into the world market every week of the year. And it's chilled, so every week we have a container going into the market, and we supply retail in the UK, into Europe, into America, Russia, places like that. And it's an integrated supply chain, so we have breeders all the way to the finishers, and everyone in that supply chain adds value to the product.
Yeah.
There's no traders.
And are all the suppliers in the Hawke's Bay, or are they throughout New Zealand?
Most of them are sort of Taupo down Central area in North Island, but we do have South Island suppliers as well, which we're trying to grow that business down there as well.
And how many are on the board?
There's 4 of us on the board. I'm one of them, and so we understand the business a bit better. So we have First Light Foods, which is the marketing company, and then there's First Light Venison, which is the company which is the farmers and the marketing company with an equal shareholding.
So First Light Food with the marketing side. Do you get to go on any of the marketing trips?
I went to the England 2 years ago and met up with Marks and Spencer for a day. Very interesting. We didn't just do Marks and Spencer, we did a couple of other companies and spent a week over there. Yeah, and all our suppliers will get an opportunity to go over at least once every year. We go over at least once.
So just coming back to the award, now that you've entered and you're at this stage, you are the international winner. What do you actually win?
Well, we've won £1,000 and a certificate apparently, and I think I don't think we'll be going to pick it up. So yeah, that's
not at this stage.
No, not at this stage. But that's lovely to have. I mean, that's not why we entered, but it's nice. Yeah.
And just a little bit of a background with regards to your farm here in Tikokino.
We bought this in 1995, 95, of Lucy's dad. I came from a sheep and beef background, but we'd been buying a few deer beforehand. And so we've been developing it into a deer farm ever since. And we're now currently running 600 breeding hinds, and we finish everything, or used to finish everything. And I have to think about that for a minute. We're now First Light's breeding program, so we are now doing the stud breeding to dissipate the stags out. So we said the stags from here to all our breeders. And we're looking at a number of things like, at first, like we pay by the actual meat, because farmers get paid by the meat that we sell, not by the carcass. So we actually pay for the value of individual carcasses, which are cut down to your shoulders, your middles, to your rumps, tails, pizzles, both sides. So the farmer actually gets paid for what he supplies, not the average.
Just with regards to the meat, one of the words that you hear quite often now is the marbling in beef. Do you have that with venison as well, or is venison quite a different?
No, venison is almost a fat-free meat. I mean, when we
So therefore no marbling?
No, there's no meat, no fat in it at all. And you know, anything good about meat and as a food value is twice as good as anything else, other than, you know, in compared to salmon or chicken. You know, the low cholesterol is half of all of those, and the level of iron in them leaves beef and lamb standing still. So it's, you know, it's a completely different type of meat, and yeah, we love it.
So it should be a weekly, if not almost daily.
Absolutely,
Daily
absolutely.
meal. So the First Light branding and packaging, if we go to our supermarket here in New Zealand, can we buy your produce?
You can buy it in some New World supermarkets, but we do find that we don't get paid enough in New Zealand for it, and it's better that we put it into the market, international markets, which are growing fairly rapidly at the moment. We are struggling to supply our contracts over there, which are long-term contracts we have with the market. So we have farmers in New Zealand that we have as a shareholders sign a 3-year contract, and we ask for contracts the same in the international markets with our customers.
You see, Marks and Spencer, you know, they're our customers in the UK, and basically First Light goes over there representing us as venison farmers, venison producers, and they say to them, look, the farmers need this amount for this venison so that they can farm in advance and plan to supply you 12 months of the year. And if you can't pay the farmers enough, they're not going to be able to do it. They'll go and try something else, another kind of class of stock, to try and to make their money. So yeah, for First Light, it's a wonderful recognition to get this award that they're meeting what Marks and Spencer wants as well.
Exactly, and that's where marketing is so important. I mean, New Zealanders, we need to be price setters, not price takers.
Exactly.
And I would imagine there's lots of farmers who could be watching who would agree with that.
Well, exactly. We had a group of a farm discussion group come to visit us one day, and they were all standing around, and they'd had an exceptionally hard run in the sheep industry, and they were just fascinated with the fact that we had these 3-year contracts, and we knew what we were doing, and that we could farm to the date that we were going to supply that animal to the market. And they wanted that, but they didn't know how to work it to make it happen.
With regards to those contracts, and obviously having to commit to supply, what happens if there is a drought and, for example, you just can't get in brought feed? Have you come across any of those issues, or not yet? I shouldn't say not yet, we don't want any droughts.
We have had it. We farm farms from Manawatu, Taupo, Hawke's Bay, and everywhere. So technically, if Hawke's Bay's having a drought, then the Manawatu should be fine, and vice versa. And the group works together. So if someone's having a bit of a hard time with feed-wise or that, we shift animals across, and everyone tries to look after everyone else, or we'll shift those animals forward into the supply chain.
So that's a really great cooperative spirit.
Yeah.
It's
not just about your actual farm boundary, it's the co-op as a whole.
Well, we've committed to working together. I mean, if you go elsewhere, you're cutting your nose off in spite of your face. You know, if you're not representing what we do and sticking to the plan, it's a waste of time being in the group.
Yeah. It's a group of farmers supplying 12 months of the year. Every Monday morning we put animals into the plant. If you think about it, chilled, you slaughter them on a Monday, they're in a container the next Monday on a ship. And so to make sure that we have a good shelf life in the market, you've got to have that time frame to not have them sitting around very long. They have to be moving all the time.
Yeah.
And in a business, any business, farming including, cash flow is king. So to actually have produce to sell every day, that's what makes the business tick over. So with the other 25 farmers in First Light, how did you guys get to enter? Will the other farmers enter in other years, or what's the go forward plan there?
Well, I talked to Jared Hickey, the CEO, and he asked us to enter because Marks and Spencer approached him about it. And I suspect that anyone can enter it, anyone in New Zealand can enter the competition. And I would suspect that, yes, one or two of the other shareholders will in the future.
And when you say anyone in New Zealand can enter the competition, it's only if you're actually selling produce into Marks and Spencer's. Okay.
That's good.
Do you know much about your competition with the eggs from Ireland and the beef from Wales, I think it is, and carrots from Scotland?
So only what's on the website, that's all we know about them. And I mean, those little synopsises on the website are just tiny. I mean, when we read ours, we were sort of like, oh, we submitted 8 pages, and that doesn't really, to us, express exactly the level of passion and commitment that we're involved in, you know, when you look at the website. So I can only assume it'll be the same for the other guys, that someone's written a little brief description of what they do, and you know, it's only the tip of the iceberg that you're seeing of what's on or what they do.
Were you able to submit photos or a video as well?
No, we tried, because it's so much easier to show what you do in one photo, you know, and show the wetlands that we've developed or the new deer handling facility that we've invested in. That would have, you know, just saved us hours, but no, we had to sit down and just describe it verbally in the written word and, yeah, leave them to it.
So to get the overall winner now, we need you. Everyone needs to vote, and if you go on to Marks and Spencer's, which is www.marksandspencers, it's an and.com, and if you go through to natural resources, and then you will see the link there for the 5 entries, and then you just click and click on the word vote, and you get to vote now. The other way, if you can't find that, if you go on to Twitter and go onto Angela Hogg, she's the field officer for Manawatu. So it's at Angela Hogg, and she's got the link there on her Twitter site. And Federated Farmers Facebook, they've also got the link as well, so it's really easy. We need as many votes as possible to get you guys through to the big number 1 win.
This is becoming a case of national pride, you know. We're up against the Scots, the Welsh, the Irish and the Poms, so, you know, come on New Zealand,
absolutely.
Let's have a vote. I mean, this is just wonderful for New Zealand agriculture or food supplying as a whole. If customers and Marks and Spencers understand that a New Zealander was the champion of champion suppliers, that's just only got to add a real plus for the New Zealand brand over there.
Well, I know Federated Farmers is very proud of you both, so well done.
Thank you very much.